Your brain is changing right now, whether you realize it or not. Every day you make hundreds of tiny decisions. Some move you closer to the person you want to become, while others quietly pull you away. Maybe you've tried to build better habits, learn a valuable skill, or become more disciplined, only to end up back where you started. After enough failed attempts, it's easy to believe that you're simply not smart enough, motivated enough, or built for change. But modern neuroscience tells a completely different story. The concept is called neuroplasticity, and it's the brain's remarkable ability to physically reorganize itself based on what you repeatedly think, practice, and experience. Your brain is not a finished machine. It's a living system that constantly updates itself according to how you use it. This realization changes everything because it means your past failures were not proof that you couldn't change. More often than not, they were the result of unknowingly training your brain in the opposite direction. Every time you reached for your phone instead of studying, delayed a difficult task, or avoided discomfort, your brain wasn't judging you. It was simply strengthening those pathways because repetition is the language the brain understands. Neuroplasticity is completely neutral. It doesn't care whether you're building productive habits or destructive ones. It simply becomes better at whatever you repeat most often. That means the problem was never that your brain refused to change. The problem was that it was changing exactly as it was being trained. Understanding this made me stop looking for motivation and start looking for systems. Instead of asking, how do I force myself to change? I started asking, what am I teaching my brain every single day? That one shift replaced frustration with curiosity. Progress no longer depended on feeling inspired. It depended on creating repeated experiences that gave my brain clear instructions about who I wanted to become. Here's what is actually happening inside your head. Your brain contains billions of neurons that communicate through tiny junctions called synapses. Whenever you learn something new or practice a skill, those neurons fire together. With enough repetition, the connections between them become stronger through a process known as long-term potentiation. Helpful proteins, such as brain-derived neurotrophic factor, often called BDNF, support the growth and stabilization of these connections, making learning more permanent. At the same time, the brain removes weak or unused pathways through another process called long-term depression. Think of it like maintaining a city. Roads that receive constant traffic are widened and reinforced, while abandoned roads slowly disappear. Your brain follows the same principle. The circuits you use repeatedly become faster, stronger, and more efficient. This is why every expert looks ordinary at the beginning. Musicians, athletes, programmers, artists, and public speakers weren't born with perfectly wired brains. They built them through thousands of repetitions. Even the white matter of the brain changes. Repeated practice encourages adaptive myelination, where nerve fibers receive better insulation, allowing signals to travel dramatically faster and with far less energy. Skills that once demanded intense concentration gradually become automatic because the brain has physically optimized those circuits. The practical lesson is surprisingly simple. Stop measuring your progress by today's performance and start measuring it by today's repetitions. Instead of waiting for long bursts of motivation, create small sessions that you can repeat consistently. 10 or 15 minutes of focused practice every day is enough to begin strengthening new neural circuits. To ensure this happens, treat your environment as a system. Remove the friction that distracts you and protect your deep work windows. By designing your surroundings to support your repetition, you ensure small, consistent actions consistently outperform occasional heroic efforts. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "This is just who I am," remember, your brain doesn't see identity, it sees patterns. Every repetition is a signal, every session a brick in the structure you're building. You aren't trapped by the brain you have today. You're actively constructing the one you'll have tomorrow. If you want to keep breaking down the science of behavior design and the systems that make growth the default, hit subscribe. Let's keep training. We're just getting started.